Claude can open your apps, read your files, and run code on your computer. So what actually stops it from doing something you didn't ask for? It isn't trust, it's a set of hard boundaries that you control. Here's exactly what Claude can touch, and what it can't. Here's the core idea: Claude doesn't get your whole machine. Access is explicit and layered. You grant a folder. You approve each app. And some actions it simply won't take on its own. Every boundary is something you switched on and can switch off. Let's go layer by layer, starting with your files. Start with files. Claude can only reach the folder you select. That one gets mounted into its sandbox, read and write. Everything else on your disk is invisible to it. Its Scratch workspace is separate and temporary, and files you attach to the chat are read-only. So it can work your project folder without ever browsing the rest of your drive. But files are the easy part, apps are where it gets interesting. When Claude controls your desktop, apps fall into 3 tiers. Browsers are read-only. It can see the screen, but can't click or type. For that it uses a dedicated browser tool you connect. Terminals and code editors are click-only. It can press run, but it can't type into your editor. Everything else is full control. And nothing begins until you approve that specific app. Tiers mean a slip in one app can't spill into another. Speaking of caution, links. The web is where agents get tricked, so the rules are strict. Claude fetches pages through an approved tool, not by any backdoor. It never clicks a link from an email or a message on its own. Those are treated as suspicious by default. And it checks a link's real destination before ever following it. If a URL looks off, it stops and asks you. The point: a poisoned link can't quietly redirect the agent. One last boundary, the one that guards your money. Some actions are one-way doors, so Claude doesn't walk through them alone. It won't place a trade, move money, or send a payment. It hands that back to you. And destructive actions, like deleting files, are gated behind your explicit approval. It'll do the analysis, line everything up, then let you pull the trigger. Safe by default on the things you can't undo. So, what can Claude touch? Only the folder you grant. Apps only at the tier you allow, and only after you approve them. The web only through approved tools, never a suspicious link. And the actions you can't undo, money and deletes, stay in your hands. 5 boundaries, and every one of them is a switch you control. That's the access model: granted, tiered, and reversible. If you missed how the sandbox underneath it all works, that's the previous video. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.